Good morning, everyone. This is going to be a quick little snapshot of Hyundai's all-new 2020 Venue. It's replaced the Accent. It is the smallest of the SUV line, and just took it for my very first drive, and I've got to say it's quite peppy. I like it. So stay tuned, and we'll go over some of the features of this all-new vehicle, and maybe it'll work for you. Alright, so first place we're going to look is under the hood. So under the hood here we have our little 1.6 liter engine. It's very cute, look at it. Everything you have to access is very easily accessed around the outside of the vehicle. So you got your brake fluid here, your batteries over here, moving around the outside. This is where your rad would be, and then your washer fluid. Now, one of the nice things about where they put the washer fluid is if you look around underneath of it, because let's face it, about 90% of us spill when we fill this. There's nothing it can really spill into, which is nice. It's not going to go in the belts and make an horrible noise. Yeah, so just give you a little look at the engine there. Quite little, and as a techie person myself, looks quite easy to work on, which is always nice. It always saves you a couple of bucks when things are easily able to be accessed. And then lastly, you check your oil right here. It's up top. It's nowhere near where you're going to have your hands where you can get injured. Alright, so here we are inside the vehicle. I'm going to fire it up. So you can see the gauges are very bright, very clear, easy to read. You can go through lots of different info screens. Tire pressures. And then you have, of course, user settings. Normally when I drive, I just leave it on either fuel economy or kilometers, but it's nice to have the nice big numbers there to see. Looking over at the side, so we do have traction control. I don't know if you can see on the mirror there in the upper left corner. No, not really. This does have blind spot monitoring. We've got mirrors. We've got door locks, window lock, your power windows. Steering wheel mounted audio controls. Cruise controls. There's our stereo there. Big, nice and bright. It's nice that it's up high and it's not down low, so you don't have to necessarily take your eyes off the road to be able to see it. You've got lots of buttons down here. I personally really like having hard buttons as opposed to all touchscreen, but of course it is still touchscreen. You can still use it. We've got Android Auto, we've got Apple CarPlay, all the great things that you need to have in today's day and age. Moving down, you'll see how we have air conditioning. We have your normal controls here. You do have a USB port, a specific charge port, and then of course the standard 12-volt plug in there. Moving to here, so this is our gear shifter here. You can put it in, when you put it in, reverse, you got a nice big backup camera that of course I have covered with my plate. But then over into drive, you do have the option to move it over to the side and put it in manual mode. When you do that, you look up on your screen here and you'll see I can start in, oh no, I can't. Alright, sorry about that. I'm still learning, figuring it out. So this one, you just use this to shift as you're going. So if you're going downhill, you can downshift so it goes slower. If you are wanting to pass someone, you can downshift a few gears, pass them, go back up. When you're done with shifting manually, because we probably don't want to do it all the time, it's super easy. You slam it back to the side, and you just go back to normal driving. Down here you'll see we have heated seats. I really like that they have 3 levels, so you can get really, really warm, which is really nice, and then once you're warm you turn it down a little bit. This drive mode button, so it's not on all Venues, it's only on a couple of the upper models, but the Trend does come with it. So all you have to do is you just flip it. and it'll change your drive mode. So we have 3 drive modes. We have normal, and then we have sport. So sport will actually allow the vehicle to rev higher and it will accelerate faster. And then you have snow mode. So although the Venue only comes in front wheel drive, it is equipped with a snow mode that will, the vehicle's very intelligent. It knows how to drive in the snow for the best traction. So if you are driving in the snow in a Venue, yes, it doesn't have all-wheel drive, but I don't think you're going to have any sort of a problem. We've got auto lights on the side here. We got our turn signals, wipers. So we do have a rear wiper and a front wiper. We do have intermittent, which just moves like such. Moving over to the passenger compartment. So the seats are quite nice. They are a little bit firm, but they are very comfy. Looking up here, there's your microphone for your Bluetooth. And then we do have a sunroof on this one. It's a little wet outside, so I'm not going to open it because I don't want to get wet. But it is a nice size sunroof. And then, of course, you do have the slidable cover there. So moving into the back, I am obviously a small adult, but there's a fair amount of room back here, which is nice. You can definitely sit comfortably. The seats are nicely leaned back. You do have water bottle holders in the door pockets there, which is nice. Give you a little look around the inside there. Alright, so here's part 2 of the video. This is the back end. So you'll see I actually lowered the floor. So there's 2 levels to the floor. There's the upper level here. When you have it set to that, the seats fold down nice and flat. And then if you have something you need a little bit more space, you can see how much more space that it actually does give you. Lifting it up, your spare tires in there, which is nice. There's no little inflator kit, it's a real spare tire. Attached to here, this is actually your privacy cover. So myself, I have a privacy cover in my vehicle, and I swear it's lived in my garage its whole lifetime because of my dogs. But this actually has a nice spot where you can slide it in, and it's right under the way without having to take it out, which is super nice. And then, of course, like all Hyundais, it uses its super strength steel. Hyundai made its own super strength steel because it didn't actually like the normal steel that was out there, so it went out and made its own. The rims are very unique on this, which I quite like. We've gone back to the good old drum brakes. If you go with an Ultimate, it's disc in the rear. If you don't go with an Ultimate, it is a drum. You do have your tire pressure monitoring system in there. We have passive entry, so if I was to push this button, the door would lock. If I push it again, it'll unlock. I don't want to do that because my keys are inside and I don't want to lock myself out. On the side here, so everything, they all come with a manual seat. So this lever here moves the seat back in and out. This lever here will actually pump the seat higher or lower as needed if you're vertically challenged like myself. And then, of course, the bar to move the seat forward. Getting back in, the steering wheel does move out and in, as well as up and down. So it's highly customizable for no matter what your size is. And then lastly, I did move my plate. So I'm going to fire up the backup camera for you. You can see it's quite bright and clear. And the lines are adaptive. So I'm turning the steering wheel now, and you'll see the lines move as well. Driving it on its first drive, it was actually very peppy. I threw it into sport mode as well, and sport mode was very, very peppy, which was really nice. and the brakes grab really well. It took some corners pretty quickly, and it takes the corners like a dream. Basically, it feels like you're driving the size of a car, but the suspension feels like you're driving in a luxury SUV. So it's quite an interesting ride. It is definitely, I'd say, the best of both worlds between an SUV and just a regular sedan or a hatchback. Lastly, this is the key. So it's a key fob. It does have remote start on the key, which is a new thing in 2020 for Hyundais. Yes, we do have the Blue Link, where you can still remote start, remote lock and touch from your phone, but now we have the option on the key fob, which is really nice to have if you just want to quickly start your car. So again, this was a review on the 2020 Venue. I introduced you to the Trend, so that was this one here. So there is an Ultimate and there is a couple of lower levels. They start at around just over 17 grand for brand new, which is awesome. It does have a lot of great features in here. So it does also come with a Smart Stream Intelligent Variable Transmission, IVT, which is very similar to a CVT, but a couple of upgrades such as chain driven instead of belt driven. So it's very robust now, and it's very good for fuel economy. Looking through here, there's quite a few of the standard Hyundai safety features like blind spot monitoring, blind spot collision warning with lane change assist. So if you go to lane over and someone's there, the vehicle won't let you. We have our driver attention warning, forward collision avoidance. So just a note, the forward collision avoidance will actually get you a discount on your insurance, because when you are rapidly approaching something and don't have time to react, the car will react with 100% of the braking force for you, which is really nice to have. We do have, going up here, we have rear cross traffic collision warning. Up into the Ultimate, you have high beam assist, you have lane departure warning with lane keep, so if you're moving in and around the lanes, it's going to keep you driving dead center. So yes, by all means, is this a luxury vehicle? Not necessarily. Is it a very practical vehicle with tons of safety features with great fuel economy? Yes. So if you're looking to save money in your pocketbook, the Venue is going to be something for you to consider. And yeah, that's it for now. Ta-ta.